One of the difficulties of preaching several days in a row is that you say something and all of a sudden you have to say it again. The explanation of this particular miracle. My hope is that either you've forgotten the first explanation or what our novice master said will work. When we asked him why he repeated things over and over, he said, throw enough mud at the barn door and some will stick. So why this miracle? Why does Jesus have to try twice to get the man to see? Well, even before that, how does the man know what walking trees look like? He was blind. And the answer is simple for that one. It doesn't say he was blind since birth. That's in the Gospel of John. He was simply blind. So the assumption is he lost his sight sometime after he grew up. Now, second, why does it take 2 tries? It seems as if the author, Mark, is using this miracle as an introduction for the next 3 chapters. In the next 3 chapters, 3 times, Jesus predicts his passion. And 3 times, the disciples don't get it. They're dumb as mud. Why? Because they think Jesus will be the Messiah, the King of Israel, and they're going to be in like Flynn. They're going to get wealth, they'll get good positions. And they don't realize Jesus didn't come for any of that. And so it takes them a long time to figure things out. Interestingly enough, in Mark's gospel, when Jesus goes out into the desert, you know how he's tempted with 3 temptations? Not in Mark. They never mention the 3 temptations. Why? Because the disciples did a good enough job. In fact, even after the first temptation, Jesus says, I'm going to suffer and die. Peter says, don't say that. What does Jesus say? Get behind me, Satan. Just in case we miss the point. They're talking about what they're getting out of it. Jesus is talking about what he's giving. Larger message from Mark's gospel, it takes us a long time to figure things out. Because it doesn't happen in our time, it happens in God's time. Have you ever said to yourself, why did it take me 40, 50, 60 years to finally figure this out? And it's exactly that. This is the right time for us to figure it out. Before, we weren't responsible. Now that we figured it out, we are. Which is why you should never go to adult ed, because you're going to learn all sorts of things and be responsible for it. No. It takes time. And our relationship with God should be growing all throughout our life. I've often said to myself, I wish I knew at 70. I wish I knew at 30 what I know at 70. But we don't. And that's okay, as long as we do the best we can with what we know now. Sometimes in the confession, people will come in and say, Father, I did this and this, but I didn't realize it was wrong. What is my response supposed to be? If you didn't know it was wrong, it wasn't a sin. Even though objectively it was wrong, to be a sin, I must choose to do the wrong. And so if things just happen, if there's a blizzard next Sunday and you don't come to church, it's not your fault. Please don't confess it. If anyone should confess it, it's God. He created the snow, right? We do the best we can with what we know, with where we are. But then we keep trying to grow. And what's the ultimate goal? What Jesus brought his disciples to realize that it's the cross. It's our cross that we're aiming for. Because the cross will be that time when we give up our own needs and brokenness and embrace his love fully.